Well, hi everyone. Let's talk about EV charging. And one of the lowest cost ways to get level 2 charging is through an outlet, such as the NEMA 1450 outlet. NEMA is a standard designation, but there's dozens and dozens of outlets out there that look like this. Some may be wall mounted, surface mounted, indoors, outdoor versions. But if there's one common problem with EV charging, it involves these outlets. These outlets can present a problem under many conditions, but not all outlets are created equally. So let's look at why this happens, what kind of messages you get on screen, what happens with the charging. And unfortunately, some of these outlets have melted and in some cases caught fire. But we can prevent that with using the right outlet at the right time. Let's look at why these outlets have problems. First, look at some typical messages that you might get in your app. We'll use the Tesla app as an example of some of the errors that the mobile charger would see frequently when using this kind of an outlet. Now, how does this outlet work? It's pretty simple. It's got a big plug for 240 volts or 208 volts commercially with a ground, a neutral, and we'll use this Leviton outlet as an example of how easy it is to use, but why an outlet like this has problems and what you can do about it. So very simply, we plug in the NEMA 1450, goes in nice and tight, and all should be good. Well, after an hour or two, you might get some of the messages like we saw before. Charging reduced, wall plug, and that's this point right here, is too hot. There's sensors in here, it reports too hot, and it cuts back the current from a maximum of 32 amps to 16 amps, so it takes twice as long to charge. Why does this happen? Let's take a look inside the outlet and see what really happens here. So we're going to take off the plug and take the cover off the outlet. And now we have the cover off, and you can see what's inside an outlet, how it's wired. You have your conductors, number 8 or number 6 wires typically used for this to handle 32 amps with a 50 amp breaker. You have your 240 volts, you have your ground, your neutral, and your 240 volts red wire. And the first problem is they're only tightened with screws. Screws are a little difficult to get as tight and with the torque you need. But more important, we can look right into this outlet and see what the problem is. If you remember, this is how the outlet plugged together. Now look how things line up. The guide holes are gone, but the same thing happens. But here's one of the problems. They're very simply contacts that just spread open. This one's relatively closed. This one's relatively closed. This one's a little wider and has a gap. This is the neutral. Now look at the fourth one. Look how wide this gap is. Over time, these contacts spread apart. They might oxidize. And therefore, when they don't make good contact to these points here, heat gets generated. And sooner or later, heat just keeps building up, building up, building up. And luckily, Tesla's design will sense it and cut back on the charging current, but sometimes people haven't been that lucky. So what can we do about it? What kind of outlets are out there to solve this problem so it's a safe installation? This is a new outlet on the market. You'll see many people recommend the Hubble or Bryant NEMA 1450 outlets. Those are great commercial outlets. Few problems are reported. And they can cost anywhere from $60 to $100 just for the outlet, not including all the accessories you need. The box I showed you a few minutes ago was a Leviton box. And unfortunately, it was one of the problem ones out in the industry for EV charging. Leviton went back to the drawing board, and I give them all the credit in the world for solving their problem. There is a new EV outlet designed, and if you look real closely, there's an EV symbol. I don't know if you can see it right there. There it is, on the outlet. It is clearly designed for EV charging. So what makes this outlet so different? And let's take a look a little deeper like we did with the last outlet. Now that we remove the outlet from the packaging, let's take a closer look. First thing, as I pointed out before, Leviton put an EV symbol on the box, showing us that it is designed for EV charging. It's a much nicer design. It's designed to go into a 2-gang box. It can be a flush mount wall box. It can be a surface mount box. And a surface mount box can be used indoors or outdoors as well with the proper covers. But more importantly, we look at the rear and we see a completely different design. First of all, we see a whole different design of sealed plastic, so you don't have to worry about receptacles and the contacts spreading apart. And you'll notice some really clear designed holes for the wires to go into after you strip them. This will take number 8 or number 6 wire. I've tried number 6 wire, and I can attest number 6 wire will fit into these holes with the proper stripping of the insulation. But more importantly, you don't have to use a screwdriver. And the screwdriver has problems. They won't fit in this, but more importantly, they won't be like other outlets on the market where if you turn the screw too tight, it pops out of the channel, you start stripping the screw, etc., etc. This uses a 537 hex bit, or in this case, an Allen wrench. And the nice thing about this is you can really torque this down. You can tighten it very well with your fingers, and in fact, Leviton recommends using a 5/32 with 75 pounds of torque. They want this really tightened down, and I don't blame them, because if it's not tightened down 100%, it's going to generate heat, and we all know what happens with heat. That's when the problems start. So in summary, this is a nice alternative outlet. I've personally tested it in a 99-degree garage on a summer day, and after a few hours, it is not hot to the touch. It is just slightly warmer than the ambient running 32 amps. So after 6 hours of continuous 32 amp charging, no temperature alerts, and I could very easily put my hand on this plug for as long as I wanted to keep it there. It was not too hot. And best of all, it's at a nice cost point. These are being sold as of the time of this production for $39.99 at Home Depot nationwide. You can order it and have it shipped, or you can just go in the store and pick it up, and then while you're there, pick up gang boxes, covers, anything else you'll need. If this information was helpful to you and you're shopping for an EV, possibly a Tesla, I'd appreciate it if you let me know in the comments how it helps you, and also if you would use my referral code. My referral code is in the title block, in the comments block, along with this video, with the Steven67535. So wishing you good luck, and if you ask any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you very much.